Greetings, and welcome back once again. This is Amuna. Let me give a little more time and get some stuff together on my end. I pray everybody's doing well. I will be right back. No, my mic won't unmute. All right, let me know if I could be heard. There's a little delay. I pray everybody's doing well on this beautiful Monday, wherever you are. It is getting heated here in the South. I woke up, I was like, yep, it's going to be a hot one. It's going to be a hot one, but all praise be to the Creator for life that we are on this side. Um, Welcome. For those who've just joined us, my name is Amuna. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the discussions. And for those who are coming back, you don't know it already, welcome back. We're going to jump into this topic because, everybody has an angle. Yeah, everybody has an angle. My angle is healing. Like, if everybody got an angle, Amuna, what's yours? My angle has always been about healing. It's been about dealing with the issues that face us as a collective, specifically the traumatic issues that we as the people of the diaspora has experienced through the last 300-400 years, and not just to continue to repeat, oh, what we've been through, to really examine what we've been through and see how it has affected us in real time and take actionable steps to overcome it so that we can heal and be whole again. Because a lot of people talking about healing, but the objective is just it's a buzzword. Oh, healing. And not really doing the actionable steps to get beyond the pain and trauma that we've experienced, right? So when I come across some of these videos, a lot of men have stepped into this arena now. I guess, I don't know if through the pandemic or what, but a lot of men are daily, indoors in the air condition. I'm just saying, if the men are building cities, why does so much of the men have so much time to be watching the goings and the comings at every minute of the day? That's a side note. I said, so anywho, what I'm seeing now is, like we've seen, is just a lot of convincing people with the agenda. So everybody has a different agenda, a different way that they may be coming to their conclusions and making their arguments, like a lawyer in court. This is why I think this, and this. So I came across this video, and I'm going to play it. I'm going to have to play it several times, because this is one such video where the man is making a point as to why or how he thinks that women operate like children. So I'm going to make it play straight through, because it's loaded on this side and I don't know how to stop it. And once I do that, then I'll come back and share my thoughts.
Perfect example why I say women operate like children. Woo! Perfect example why I say women operate like children. Imagine a child with a fork in their hand, right? And they stick it in a light socket and get shocked. Is that child going to hold themselves accountable for what they did? No, they're going to go to their mom and they're going to point at the light socket like, the light socket, right? Now think about a woman. She turns around and gets with a loser and allows a loser to have unprotected sex with her without having any type of requirements of, like, you got to marry me or anything, right? And next thing you know, she has a baby by a loser. He ups and leaves. And what does she do? The loser got me pregnant. You are in charge of every substance that goes into your body. If I turn around and drink a bottle of bleach, do you think I'm going to blame the bleach company for me drinking the bottle of bleach? No, I allow the bleach into my body just like you allow a man's semen into your body. Women operate like children. The specific reason why every woman needs a man.
Did you hear that? If you were in debate class, yeah, and he came up and gave that speech, would you, because that's what he did. He presented a thought, and then he went about supporting evidence of the thought, and then concluded with said thought. And as I'm listening to this, I'm like, okay, I think we're going to have to go over logical fallacies again, because just like we saw with the lawyer guy the other day, we have to be careful of the way in which people are presenting, or even we present information. Okay, so let's listen again, and I'm gonna have to stop it, because let me know what you see. I'm always saying what I see. Let me know what you heard, what you see wrong with the information he presented, or do you think anything is wrong with it? Was he on point? Did he make his case? He made an analogy. He paralleled women and a child. He gave a scenario, and then he concluded that's why women need men. But you just said, I'm confused, but not really. So let's go again from the top. And I'm not going to stay long again today. Y'all know I'm just taking my vitamin D, my breeze for this morning. But let's go again.
Perfect example why I say women operate like children. Woo! Perfect example why I say women operate like children. Imagine a child with a fork in their hand, right? And they stick it in a light socket and get shocked. Is that child going to hold themselves accountable for what they did? No, they're going to go to their mom and they're going to point at the light socket like, the light socket, right? Now think about a woman. She turns around and gets with a loser and allows a loser to have unprotected sex with her without having any type of requirements of, like, you got to marry me or anything, right? And next thing you know.
Let's stop at the first part, right? He's making a case women are like children, okay, which is false equivalence, but okay. So he gives a scenario. He's honing in on the ability or the inability for the woman or the child to take responsibility for their actions. But under that premise, men are like children too. Because if, I don't even want to go ahead of myself. Let's just deal with what he gave first. He gave a scenario with a child and an inanimate object, right? That inanimate object is a light socket. The light socket doesn't have feelings. The light socket doesn't have emotions. The light socket does not lie. The light socket does not deceive. The light socket is an inanimate object, right? The child who would not have foreknowledge of what happens with a light socket, depending on the age of the child, so that also is important. But needless to say, the analogy he gives with off the bat, the analogy he gives with a child and a light socket is not the same as a person-to-person relationship, okay? Because one is objective, the other one is subjective. But let's continue to listen again. So from the gate, this is why y'all, I got like barred from talking to a lot of people. They be like, oh, I'm not talking to you anymore. Because I'm listening to what you're saying and like, wait a minute, this is not making sense. But oftentimes, because we want to make our point, we'll just throw anything on the wall and see what sticks, right? So let's listen again. So first of all, that argument doesn't stand. It's a false equivalency. The light socket about a relationship between two people versus a relationship for that child. This is cause and effect here. There's no other thing that's going on. With the light socket in the child, it's cause and effect. Furthermore, what child I've had how many children is just going to pick up a fork or a knife and stick it in a light socket? That's extreme. But let's listen to him again so I can pick up another point that shows you that no matter if it makes sense or not, people are going to continue to push because they have an agenda. Let's
Perfect example of why I say women operate like children. Woo! Perfect example of why I say women operate like children. Imagine a child with a fork in their hand, right? And they stick it in a light socket and get shot. Is that child going to hold themselves accountable for what they did? No, they're going to go to their mom and they're going to point at the light socket like the light socket, right? Now think about a woman. She turns around and gets with a loser and allows a loser to have...
Pause also. Concerning the child and the light socket, right? If we're going to use that example. For the child would have had to have foreknowledge because in his scenario, the child is talking to the authority or the guardian or the mother, right? Therefore, would this child have known already not to engage in such a thing? Did they get warning like anybody, whether it be old or young? This is where the people who come before you, this is where the community, this is where your parents are supposed to teach you what are you supposed to look out for, what you're supposed to stay away from. And that goes for people as well. So if you have bad modeling examples in your home, if you were not admonished or if you were not taught as a young man or a young woman what type of man to look at, what type of woman to go for, you're going to pick based on the wrong criteria, and more likely than not, you will end up with a quote-unquote loser. Now, just because you hold the person to the standard to marry you doesn't mean the person is not a quote-unquote loser. I'm just using their terminology. The thought is, oh, the person is not a loser because they married you. That's not true. Right? On the other side of this conversation, when the woman has standards like we're hearing now, oh, your standards are too high. Now, when she is not a child, quote unquote, and she speaks up for herself and she sets standards and she has expectations, now you go through the other side of the manosphere where they're tearing down all of your expectations, all of your standards because they're unrealistic and you should settle for what in her mind is a loser. This is what you call mind games, people. This is mind games. It's dangerous. I don't know how people are doing it out here in this day and time, but let's listen to the whole thing again.
Perfect example of why I say women operate like children. Woo! Perfect example of why I say women operate like children. Imagine a child with a fork in their hand, right? And they stick it in a light socket and get shot. Is that child going to hold themselves accountable for what they did? No, they're going to go to their mom and they're going to point at the light socket like the light socket, right? Now think about a woman. She turns around and gets with a loser and allows a loser to have unprotected sex with her without having any type of requirements of like, you got to marry me or anything, right? And next thing you know, she has a baby by a loser. He ups and leaves. And what does she do? The loser got me.
Hold on. On my side, it looks like it's stopping and going. Let me try again.
Perfect example why I say women operate like children. Woo! Perfect example why I say women operate like children. Imagine a child with a fork in their hand, right? And they stick it in a light socket and get shocked. Is that child going to hold themselves accountable for what they did? No, they're going to go to their mom and they're going to point at the light socket like the light socket, right? Now think about a woman. She turns around and gets with a loser and allows a loser to have unprotected sex with her without having any type of requirements of like, you got to marry me or anything, right? And next thing you know, she has a baby by a loser. He ups and leaves. And what does she do? The loser got me pregnant. You are in charge of every substance that goes into your body. If I turn around and drink a bottle of bleach, do you think I'm going to blame the bleach company for me drinking the bottle of bleach? No, I allowed the bleach into my body just like you allow a man's semen into your body. Women operate like children. The specific reason why every woman needs a man.
Did you hear that? Listen to the conclusion. Specific. But did she have a man? Isn't he the one who knocked her up and left her? And why would she ask the loser, if he is a loser, to be required to marry her? We're not making any sense. Furthermore, people sue companies. Like, who remembers when the people sued McDonald's because the coffee was too hot? There was a recent thing that someone sued a company because of negligence on behalf of the company, in some way, shape, or form. So to say that people don't sue the company and hold the company responsible, especially if the company advertised for something that they didn't deliver more. So therefore, what I'm saying is men and women, but in this scenario, his scenario, men can and do false advertising. So no matter, they can and do misrepresent themselves. They can and do lead people on. They can and do promise to marry people, even marry people, women, even abuse women. They can and do, be what you're calling a loser, and she finds out that. So that doesn't absorb anybody from responsibility, but it does say that because there is another party involved, not an inanimate object like a light socket, there's another party involved. What he just did between the light socket and the picking a loser is a false equivalency. But here we are out here making these YouTube videos like everything that people are spitting is 100% facts. Positive reinforcements. Welcome to everybody who did join us. Says this whole gender war is distraction from the serpent. Yeah, it is. It to me, it's like every day. Like, do you just sit in your bed and be like, ooh, let me come up with something else to divide the people? Yes, actually they did. That's what I saw. You're right. I was trying to think of what I saw recently when I was doing research on Red Bull. Red Bull did get sued because they promised wings. And a guy, I think it was a guy, correct me if I'm wrong, thought he could fly because Red Bull give you wings. You notice Red Bull doesn't say that anymore? So there are plenty of companies, corporations, who have been sued for making false promises. Okay, so to say that the situation with the man and the woman, she has to wholly be responsible, even if he misrepresented himself, even if he lied, it doesn't bear true in the real world. That's not what happens. Like I said, you can see plenty of companies that got caught out there because they were fishing for the customer. They were willing to do anything. And then when a customer, whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent, realized, nah, the company either dropped the ball or whatever. Now you see on those cups, hot, careful, contents are hot, because the person gave the customer, I think it was at McDonald's years ago, scalding tea or whatever it is, and it spilled and they sued. So let's listen to it again. It's short. It's 1 minute worth of logical fallacies designed to mess with people's minds so that they will succumb to whatever it is the agenda is. But at the same time, it's like overriding your common sense. Like, wait a minute, you're not making sense. I'm not saying a woman doesn't need a man, but what you just explained was that she actually had a man, but he was the wrong one, right? So what is the criteria you're using to determine if the person is wrong? Because they marry you? You can marry the wrong person. So let's listen again, and then y'all let me know your thoughts, and I'm not going to stay long today. It's just one that I found that I was just like, oh my goodness. What are we saying right now? What are we saying? What do we say? So let me go back over here. Today is hot, boy.
Perfect example of why I say women operate like children. Woo! Perfect example of why I say women operate like children. Imagine a child with a fork in their hand, right? And they stick it in a light socket and get shocked. Is that child going to hold themselves accountable for what they did? No, they're going to go to their mom and they're going to point at the light socket like the light socket, right? Now think about a woman. She turns around and gets with a loser and allows a loser to have unprotected sex with her without having any type of requirements of like, you got to marry me or anything, right? And next thing you know, she has a baby by a loser. He ups and leaves. And what does she do? The loser got me pregnant. You are in charge of every substance that goes into your body. If I turn around and drink a bottle of bleach, do you think I'm going to blame the bleach company for me drinking the bottle of bleach? No, I allow the bleach into my body just like you allow a man's semen into your body. Women operate like children. The specific reason why every woman needs a man.
Yo, that conclusion was everything, wasn't it? Check it out. There's a thing on, I think, Food Network. I told you guys months ago I was watching it. It was talking about the history of food in America. He's making an assumption. All of the things that he's noting has warnings on it. Not so much with people. You have to wait around to see because people are deceptive. If you read the back of the bleach, the back of the bleach has warning. Therefore, you cannot hold the company responsible to say you did not know because the back of the bleach has warning, right? All of these things have warning. Like I said, the cups now have warning. Even your bottles, they have warning. I'm drinking some water right now. Warning. There, because at one point in time, somebody may have gotten injured or they want to advise you. So it says warning, bottle cap is a small part and may pose a choking hazard for young children. Even the bottle is warning you. So to compare an action with another person that does not necessarily come with a warning because it's deceptive. Now, some of the things that we see that are deceptive that people get to held accountable for are some medications. At first, the medication may come out like, oh, it's great for da-da-da. And then it's causing all of these adverse effects because the people trusted the doctor. They trusted these people. They trusted the manufacturer, right? And then when they realize it's injuring them, they now have to issue warnings against these medications or these manufacturers or these X, Y, and Z. So again, I say it's false equivalency and it's a setup for the okie doke because what the person is saying is not matching. First of all, the young child should have been advised to not stick a fork in a socket. And all the children that I've had, I've never seen them just walk up to a socket and stick a fork in it. That is extreme. Where are you? And you know what they have even now for open light sockets if you have children? Socket covers. So you have precaution. You have things that are set in place so that the child does not injure themselves. You have gates. You have socket covers. You have things that so that they can't open the closet because they can't read to see that it's a warning. Just use a child in that scenario to sticking a fork in a light socket to why the woman needs a man. You could have picked a better example. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying women don't need men and men don't need women, but that example right there is a little bit off. I'm just saying. Let me know your thoughts. Judah, what's going on? Reproductive coercion. I mean, this is what, it's sounding like people are using extreme measures at this point. It's sounding like, oh, if all fails, let me mentally manipulate you into what I want you to do. It's sounding real suspect. That's all I'm saying. This is sounding real suspect. They posted broken foolery for clicks on social media. Positive reinforcement state. Yo, she said they're making it up as they go. Like that long delayed, let me turn the background music down a little bit. That long delayed thinking look like, what should I say next? What manner of foolery? I'm gonna play the video again so you can see it and let me know your thoughts. But like I said, to the extremes, and it's confusing. If you were out in this dating space or if you were out, it is so confusing. One person is saying we don't care about your degree. One person is saying, oh, you don't have a degree, you're a bum. One person is saying you're a gold digger. One person, I mean, the confusion out here is great. So let's listen one more time. For those who listen all of the time, shout out to you. It's very short, but again, it's just, you can see that, like you said, they're just, some people are making it as they go and just ruin. They don't realize that you're sowing this seeds into other people's relationships and messing up other people's minds. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing
Perfect
this?
example why I say women operate like children. Woo! Perfect example why I say women operate like children. Imagine a child with a fork in their hand, right? And they stick it in a light socket and get shocked. Is that child going to hold themselves accountable for what they did? No. They're going to go to their mom and they're going to point at the light socket like the light socket, right? Now think about a woman. She turns around and gets with a loser and allows a loser to have unprotected sex with her without having any type of requirements of like, you got to marry me or anything, right? And next thing you know, she has a baby by a loser. He ups and leaves. And what does she do? The loser got me pregnant. You are in charge of every substance that goes into your body. If I turn around and drink a bottle of bleach, do you think I'm going to blame the bleach company for me drinking the bottle of bleach? No, I allowed the bleach into my body just like you allow a man's semen into your body. Women operate like children. The specific reason why every woman needs a man.
But what if the man is the one who's telling her to drink the bleach? Y'all remember a couple of years ago when Trumpy was out there and he was telling them about certain systems that he could use, and they was running around saying he told them to drink the bleach. What if the man is out here telling you to drink the bleach? You said specific reason why you need a man. What if the man is out here misdirecting you? What if the man is out here marrying you and then leaving you with children? You're acting as though the marriage is a whole safeguard against abuse, which we know historically it is not. Hold on. Yeah. So that's basically what I wanted. We were 30 minutes in. Yeah, I wanted to just come on here and share that. I found that entertaining. There was another one that I wanted to share, but I have to be able to transfer it over. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the other side. This is one of the women who felt she needed a man, and she's in a relationship, one of these relationship videos. And he's like, you trust him? And she's like, yeah. And the guy interviewing is like, well, why do you trust him? She says, because he hasn't given me a reason not to. And these are these younger girls. So what's happening is that these younger girls are being messed up. The younger girls are being misled oftentimes, right? For however young they are. And so they trust the wrong person because someone should be there advising them, looking out for them. He tried to sound deep. I don't know that I could share it from here. This thing be tripping. Anywho, let me know your thoughts on that. I'm not going to play it again. I had enough. Oh, let me play a little commercial. Then I'll be back with my closing thoughts. All right. Yep. So I'm back. So definitely this need to sound deep, the excessive exposure to just computer all day. You know, the men, like, I'm trying to figure out who's going out to work anymore. I'm really trying to figure it out. I'm not even trying to be funny. With all of these men bloggers, all of the men on the computer, I'm trying to figure out who's going to work. I am not trying to be funny, but I got questions. The news should really range the mills up. No, I mean, I think it's important to let people speak, because in speaking, you get to see where the person is coming from. You know what I'm saying? You get to see where they are, so you know how to move. Oftentimes, like he's saying, the woman, quote, gets with the loser because maybe women don't see what is there. They see what they want it to be there. You know what I mean? They see what could the potentiality of what could be. and don't see the truth of the matter until it's too late. You feel me? So I think there's value to hearing what they're really feeling, but the questions I'm having is like, bruh, why you not at work? It's the middle of the day. You uploaded YouTube videos at 2:00 in the afternoon, fam. Why you not at work though? Yeah. So they've said too much already. Yeah, they're saying a lot, but you could just see how sometimes when you're younger, even you don't realize how much mind games people play, right? And it's now that you can really look back and be like, yo, these people out here really playing mind games, really gaslighting people, really distorting information intentionally to control you. You know what I mean? And that's dangerous, and it is disheartening, because how then can you trust? I watched one of those what do you call it, videos, the loyalty videos. The young girl calls, the friend calls the boyfriend, her friend's boyfriend. The girlfriend is standing right there. He says, yeah, he'll be down to Netflix and chill. Right? The girl is heartbroken. She's like, I cannot believe this. I can't believe what I'm hearing. She calls him back. Homeboy's on the phone like, I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I do such a thing? And I'm looking like, you're on camera, on social media with millions of witnesses, and you still would lie. To the degree that people, there goes the nice breeze. To the degree that people will lie, I am just like, wow. And still will lie. And still will try to shift the blame. So if shifting the blame, lying and not taking responsibility is what makes women, like I said in the beginning, like children, then I would go on to say that also is what makes men like children. Shifting the blame, not taking responsibility, and pointing the finger at if somebody else made you do it. She made him make her pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've never heard that before. Like, how did she make you? Unless she tried to steal your manhood. You feel me? And artificially inseminate herself. Or she gave you the same wine that Lot's daughters gave him. Like, how did she make you make her pregnant? She tried to trap me. How did she try to trap you, sir? How did she try to trap you, sir? At the end of the day, unless, like I said, you are knocked out in some way or form, how is she making you do anything? She can tempt you. She can lead you to the water, but she can't make you drink. Because on the other side, she can't make you stay. So how did she make you get her pregnant? On the other side, when the deed is already done, you say, oh, a baby can't keep no relationship together. She can't make you stay. But I'm supposed to believe she made you get her pregnant. These are some crazy stuff going on in the world today. Let me share that real quick. Yeah, that was some strong wine. I don't know if that wine was being fermented for 1,000 years. Whatever wine they plied him with, twice, not once. I always had questions about that. Like, what was Lot drinking? You feel me? Like, he went down and he was like, he had no idea who it was. He knew it wasn't the wife because she was over there as a pillar of salt. He knew it wasn't her. Who did you think it was, Lot? Who did you think it was? I don't know. That's a question I always had. Like, what that I don't know what that was. I've never seen any Yajing that strong yet. That was that ancient wine. Ancient wine. Anywho. Why are you putting that in the car? Shallow. That's Menaya's. I'm on the live. Molly, the original. Yo, for real, we need some research. You know how the researchers be going to antiquity. They be digging up artifacts. We need some questions answered about what type of grapes was that? What was the fermentation process? Because Lot not only she made him make her pregnant once. They made him make them pregnant twice. Unless these brothers out here getting lotted. I don't know. But with that said, for those who've just joined us, welcome to the conversation. I was trying to keep it light today, because, every day can't be, But yeah, thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back again at another time to have more of these very interesting conversations. Don't get got. He said, and this is the reason why the man needs the woman needs the man. What? To mislead her, sir? To play mental games with her, sir? To manipulate her mind, sir? Come on. All right, everybody. Have a blessed day.